All right, I have some would you rather questions for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather have 2 noses or 4 ears?
4 years, 100%.
Why are you so sure about that?
Well, where do they have to be? On my head?
I don't know.
I guess 4 years, because that's like right when you like look at someone. It's like right on the front of your face if you've.
What if they're like really small noses and they look like one?
Yeah, but I could just like grow out my hair and just like cover up the ears, and then I could hear like
true.
double the.
All right.
Okay,
Is that how it
here's a
works?
good one.
Hear double the. I don't know.
Would you rather drink spoiled milk or eat moldy cheese?
Oh gosh, I think moldy cheese.
I'm with you. The smell of spoiled milk.
Isn't cheese already mold?
Kind of, yeah. But
Moldy
it's like
blue
cheese. It
cheese.
is.
Yeah.
I had some of that the other day.
Blue cheese is good.
Blue cheese makes me gag.
On a salad?
No, I had it on a burger.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
oh yeah, that's good.
I'll get it on a burger.
No.
It might be
Oh,
good.
no.
And then it was like,
Oh,
like,
no,
oh.
it's good. Okay. Would you rather it be 0 degrees or 100 degrees at all times?
0 degrees.
At all times.
At all
0
times.
degrees.
0?
Yeah, because if it's 100, all you can do is just like strip down, you know?
Yeah,
Like
but
you can throw layers
true.
on and you
That's
can be
true.
warm. But
That's
if it's
true.
100 and it's hot,
but
you
is
can
there
just
humidity? Because that's different if there's not humidity.
I don't know. But still, it's 100
All right,
degrees.
we'll go cold. Fine.
Okay, last one. Would you rather break your arm or break your leg?
Arm.
I feel like leg, because you could get one of those scooter things and just don't have to walk as much.
I don't know.
Yeah, but then if you have to deal with stairs though.
You just don't.
I'd probably do leg, yeah.
All right, whatever.
All right, let's start.
Like, all right, sorry.
Welcome back to QuaranTEEN. My name is Lauren.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Athena.
And today we want to talk about how the church named this year as the year of St. Joseph. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the AWAKEN Catholic app is now in the App Store, and it's an amazing app to really grow in community. There's so many people that have joined this app, and they're from out of state, all over, and we've gotten to know a lot of people in the Catholic community, which is awesome.
Super
so
cool.
you can go to the App Store and download this. And if you like the shows that we put on and all of the other shows through AWAKEN Catholic, you can go to AWAKEN Nation and donate at awakencatholic.org/donate.
And today's episode is brought to you by Casa Bella Cleaning Service. Casa Bella is a one-stop shop for all things clean. If you live in the Northwest Ohio area, Casa Bella is the ideal option to keep your residence, commercial, or new construction clean. Casa Bella is also one of the only services in Northwest Ohio that provides deep and professional carpet cleaning. Most importantly, right now during the pandemic, keeping your home and offices clean and COVID-19 free is of the utmost importance, and it happens to be a specialty of theirs. That includes doorknobs, light switches, surfaces, ATMs, anything you can think of. Get the peace of mind of knowing your home or commercial environment is professionally clean by visiting casabellacleaning.info today.
Awesome.
Awesome. So first, before we get into the year of St. Joseph, because I know I didn't really understand, like when they would say when I was younger, like the Pope declared it's the year of whatever. I was like, cool. And I never thought about it again because like that was it. Like they said it once and that's cool. So to start, when the church or the Pope declares a dedication of a year, it just means it's time to reflect on whatever that is. Sometimes it's a saint. Sometimes it's something that has to do with the church. I know in the diocese, like the bishop is really big on, I don't remember the points right now, but one of them I know is like holy families, holy vocations, holy disciples.
Yes. Holy
Sweet.
disciples, holy families, holy-
That came out of nowhere. That's
Yeah.
how my brain works sometimes. But so it's just time. It's a time to reflect on those things so that no matter what, especially like in prayer, if you are lost a little bit and you don't know like what to pray about, that's a really good place to start. Is like the year we have dedicated the Catholic Church that this year we are going to be praying and reflecting on this thing. Yeah. And so this year was St. Joseph, which I know is super cool for a lot of people because I don't think that the Catholic Church always gives him a ton of recognition, and he is like an awesome dude.
And I think a lot of people forget about him a little bit, which is sad because he's part of the Holy Family. And so he was just more in the shadows of the biblical story. But he plays such an important role, and that's because he was Jesus's foster father, and he was a major guardian and protector of the family of Mary and of Jesus.
Which I think is so cool when you think about that, because we sometimes like to think that if our family is like a broken family, like you're not with your mom and your dad, that you're not as like worthy as somebody else. But like literally Jesus had a foster dad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like we're all about the family, and we want, you know, the family unit to be together. But sometimes those families look different. Jesus's did too.
Yeah. I think he's an awesome example for us too, because especially with men, because he was there to support and to guide his family. And that's why it's an awesome example for the guys today and the men in our world, because if they're called to marriage and to be in a family, have a family, St. Joseph is an awesome saint to look to for that. And he was also a really hardworking man, patron of workers, and he was also very humble. I mean, we really don't hear much of like an account from him in the Bible, and he, like we said, he was more in the shadows of stuff, and that just kind of shows his humility of things as well. And he was very, he just kind of went with what God called him to, right? And that leads me to the next thing, is that I was reading something from the Pope, and it said that he declared his own fiat, which I think is awesome. So fiat meaning yes. That was Mary's yes to God when the angel came to her. And she said, "Let it be done according to thy will." And so I thought that was interesting that the Pope said that that Joseph also declared his own fiat. And that was when he was going to divorce Mary quietly because, you know, he loved her so much. And but he still continued to say yes to God, and because God wanted him to be the father of that Holy Family.
Which I think is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually amazing. Just from a male's perspective, yeah, St. Joseph is a huge role model, especially for men and fathers. And yeah, that always kind of struck me when Joseph was going to divorce somebody. And we hear the word divorce in kind of like a connotation, or a negative connotation. Yeah. In today's society. But the fact that he loved Mary so much, where he didn't want to step in the way of God's plan. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a huge testament to God as well, to show that God works through us as humans for his plan of salvation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we don't hear much about him, I think as a male, we all strive for that. We strive for that love, especially giving our love to a person so much where we don't want to intercept that with God. So,
I think we often talk about, and if you watched, Father Kidd and I did one of the episodes on Mary, we often talk about how she is just the perfect example of love, which is not wrong, but Joseph is too. Because you have to remember, so if you watch the episode, we talked about why it was such a huge deal during that time that Mary said yes to the Lord, especially without hesitation. And that is because during that time, it was not okay to be a teen mom. Like, it was not at all, especially if you were unwed. So for her to just say yes, like, that's a huge thing. And God put a lot of trust in Joseph too, because Joseph could have decided, nope, not for me. This is not okay. And like, kind of made it a public thing. And most likely Mary would probably have been killed. Okay. Yeah. Like, it was very severe. So for Joseph to even, I get it, divorce doesn't sound pretty, but even to quietly think about the fact that he loved her so much that he didn't want that for her, right? Even if you take out the God stuff, he didn't want her to be hurt. He didn't want her to, her life to end, that he was willing to do that quietly and take care of it just between them so that she can continue to live, I think is huge too. So if you're not even looking at the Jesus stuff, you're not looking at the God stuff, the fact that we talk about Mary so much as the epitome of love, which is so true. Joseph is right there with her, because if it wasn't for Joseph, pregnant Mary probably would not have made it to delivery by herself. That was a long journey to go find some place to stay. There's a lot of things that I don't think we always think about Joseph and he was there and he was ready to help and he was ready to do exactly what he needed to do. Heck, he helped to get a stable ready so that his wife could give birth instead of being like, there's nowhere here, let's keep going. Yeah. So I think it's important to remember that Joseph is such for, Mary for women, beautiful. Look to her as our person of love. But I think for men, Matt's 100% right that Joseph is the perfect saint to look to when you're trying to figure out how to love.
Yeah. And with that, when you're trying to figure things out, with this year being the year-long devotion to Saint Joseph, it's important that we ask Saint Joseph for his intercession, because that's how we relate closer to the saints, and that's how we can ask them to be closer to us in our lives and in our hearts.
Yeah, and I know we talked about this before too, but just a refresher. So when the Catholic Church is saying it's the year of St. Joseph, it doesn't mean that the Catholic Church now denounces Jesus Christ.
No,
and we only worship St. Joseph, okay? That's not...
Are you sure?
Remember that when we're asking for the intercession, we are asking Joseph to take our prayers to God for us, basically. That's it. So just like any other saint, we've done a couple episodes on saints. Saint Joseph is such a good saint to pray with, right? We're not praying to him, we're praying with him. And I think especially for young guys, for struggling husbands or husbands that just want to be better, he really is the perfect saint to choose. Or if you are a young lady who is thinking one day she wants to get married, pray to Saint Joseph to help you find your husband. And ideally, I don't know what's on your list, but ideally you want someone like Saint Joseph, right? That's really what every woman wants.
Do women have a list?
Yeah, yes. Most do. Oh. Especially teenagers. Sure, I feel as you get older, your list gets shorter, but
mine didn't.
Teenagers have a list.
Maybe I need to start a list.
You should.
Yeah, I don't think any. Okay, my husband hit some of the things on my list.
Just
check.
My list was weird though. It was. Yeah, I don't know. It was a typical teenage girl list.
High standards, I guess. So
mine wasn't standards. Mine was characteristics that should never be on your list, by the way. But mine were characteristics and looks and
long nose,
blonde
definitely
hair.
long nose,
poofy ears.
Yeah, those are all on there.
Long hair.
No. Anyways, going back to St. Joseph.
Yeah. St. Joseph.
Matt's mind's blown that girls have lists. Do you guys not have lists?
They do.
I don't know.
Some of them do.
I don't.
Ask Mary to guide your heart.
I will. Maybe that's next year.
But yeah, so St. Joseph, this year is just a time to reflect. So if you are someone who maybe isn't Catholic watching this, or maybe you are and your confirmation saint you no longer feel super close to, this is the year to reach out to St. Joseph and talk with St. Joseph. Because really, what's prayer? It's us communicating. So just talk with him and ask for guidance. Because I think that if Joseph could say yes in his lifetime in the predicament that they were in, and then continue to say yes as he served the Lord, standing in as Jesus's father, that he's a really good person to go to for basically any issue that we're facing that we're not sure if we're called to do.
Yeah. And as I said, he's described as the Pope, he's described by the Pope as a father in the shadows. So I think that we should bring him out of the shadows and into the light, and ask for his intercession in our lives.
Especially with the humility. I feel like the world needs more of that nowadays. So if you struggle with humility, St. Joseph is your man. Go talk to him. Ask him for help.
He's the dude.
He's your guy.
I won't say that. I was going to say he's the plug, but like not same. He's your Jesus plug. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, sweet. Let's end on that note before more word vomit comes out. Tune in next week. We love having you here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks,
this
guys.
show and all media on Awaken Catholic is made possible by the Awaken Nation and the Hallow app. The Awaken Nation is a community of people like you who support all things Awaken for as cheap as a cup of coffee a week and get access to exclusive content. Learn more by visiting awakencatholic.org/donate. Hallow is the only audio-guided Catholic prayer app focused on contemplative prayer and traditional Catholic meditation such as Lectio Divina, Daily Examen, and the Rosary. We here at Awaken all use Hallow every day and love it. To learn more or give it a try, visit hallow.app/awaken.